What's up, it's Chris with Subliminal Acquisition, and in this video, I'm going to give you the unsexy truth that most mix and master engineers don't understand that is really the secret to getting high quality, consistent clients and really dominating your competition. So basically, it comes down to what I like to call the critical client flow. And I got this from a book. I can't remember who wrote it. Maybe I'll write it in the thing. But it's called systemology, and it's about systemizing your business and basically every area of your business. And he's a consultant for these different companies in multiple different industries. And it basically breaks business down into a very, very simple understanding of someone understanding, like someone not knowing your stuff, like a complete stranger who's never heard of you, going to a closed client, someone you've delivered the material to. In this case, it would be files, the final WAV files, FLAC, whatever it is, and then becoming repeat clients, testimonials, and so on, right? So basically, what does that whole process look like? And I'm going to give you that step by step in this video, 100% unfiltered. So basically, it's 7 steps, and we can adapt this for any niche, any marketplace, and we're going to adapt it and use it for your specific services, your mixing and mastering services in your niche and in your genre, and in maybe it's your geographical location or your online location if you're in a kind of more a digital space, right? So it starts, step 1 is attention. Someone has to learn about who you are, right? So this could be your studio billboard on the side of your studio. It could be an Instagram post that is shared, that is on their explore page, whatever. It could be an ad, it could be a paid ad, right? So it could be any combination of outbound, which is you sending something like a DM or a telegram, a smoke signal, whatever it is, and just reaching out, right? An outbound reach out. And you can systematize all of these. I talk a lot about systems in all my videos and all my content and all my coaching. And then inbound would be someone coming in. So it would be like a kind of a YouTube video or a static Instagram post where they find you. It's like you put it out there and it's ready for people to see. So it might be like a mix example, like a demonstration. It might be a critique of something. It might be some advice. It might be a humorous thing, right? For example, like I have some friends that have got a ton of clients from posting like joke content, but they got like really serious commissions, right? And they get consistent clients and like they're completely edit. I made a ton of consistent clients and they're crushing it with music, right? So another one will be paid ads. Now you want to get a bit more specific about this, but you want to understand your niche and the kind of people that are, you're going to be servicing, right? So the kind of artists you're going to be servicing, or the producers, or whatever your kind of niche is. And you can target them using paid ads if you have a little bit of extra cash or you want to invest that in that. So it can be difficult with paid ads, but I'm not going to go into the details of ads. I'm just going to continue with the critical client flow. So step 1 is attention. Again, inbound, outbound, paid. There are a number of ways to get on someone's radar, but they have to go from a stranger to knowing about you. They haven't given you money. They haven't given you a testimonial. They haven't, they're not a raving fan yet, but they know about you. You exist to them as a business, right? So step 2 is Enquiry. So they have to inquire about your services. They have to kind of take that step from you're just on their radar to making a connection. So this could be, if you DM them, they could be asking about how do we go further? How do we chat further, right? Let's get on a call or something like that. If it's a YouTube video, it could be, them filling out a form or something like that, or clicking a link. If it's sound better, again, some kind of intake form, something like that, right? So they just kind of, they move a little bit closer to that place where they're giving you their tracks and trusting you with that, and then you're mixing their stuff and so on, right? And giving you money, right? So 3, speaking about money, is the sale or the deal, right? So you have to have some kind of deal with your fellow man, so to speak, with the producer or the artist that you're working with. And that could be on a call, it could be in person, it could even be over text, but that's what counts as a sale. It counts as a sale or a deal closed if money changes hands and there's a kind of agreement made. Like, you want expectations on both sides. You want to discuss those expectations. You want to say, how many tracks are we doing? What does it look like for this to be beneficial for both of us? How much money is going to change hands? For how much work? For what does that look like? If the expectations are vague, this can cause problems down the line. But if the expectations are clear and everyone fulfills them, then everyone can be happy. This is what leads to repeat business, great testimonials, and so on. So there's also, again, you have to receive the actual payment, and that can be through a payment processor of some kind. It could just be sent directly to you. It could be cash, it could be Bitcoin, it could be whatever, right? It could be gold bars, or whatever, right? So 4 is money or finances. So you can make all the money in the world. You can have a ton of money coming in. You can make $1 million a year. But if $1,000,001 is going out, then you're broke, right? So you have to manage the money, the money flowing in from your clients, from your production clients, the artists that are giving you money. You want to make sure it's not leaking. You got to have a P&L. You don't want to be leaking money and wasting all the hard-earned cash that you've worked so hard to receive and accumulate, right? You want to make sure that there's more coming in than there is going out, and it's managed nicely. So you want to get the spreadsheets, understand the basics of accounting, and so on. And this is the boring stuff, but again, keeping money is just as important, if not more important, than making it. So after that, step 5 would be onboarding. You have to onboard the client. You have to bring them into your business, bring them into your sort of ecosystem so that they can benefit from the process, right? So in a lot of situations, you want to have, actually most situations, I recommend this for basically every single deal, including friends and people that you know, you want to have a contract, right? So you want to onboard them by saying, these are the expectations, again, beyond the sale, kind of put it more in writing, and make sure that everyone's on the same page, everyone's happy about the expectations. What do you need from them? What do they need from you? What are they going to get from you? Are they going to get files? Are they going to get how many revisions are they going to get, and so on and so forth. And you want to have all this systematized, all of this thought of in advance, and kind of working for you already. You don't want to have to redo this every time, wasting a ton of effort and time on kind of reinventing the wheel every time. You want to have these sort of systems in place and optimized and evolving so that it gets easier and smoother over time. And the more deals you do, and the more commissions that you do, right? So files, they have to send you the files. And for example, I've created like an intake form that asks, like, is this 48K? Is this 44.1K? What's the bit rate? What's the tempo? If that's relevant, if it's not changing too much, although they could give you a file on that. Just any details that they need to know about the song, like key and so on, if that affects how you're going to mix or master the track or produce it. And it's really about doing what makes sense for you and for your services and the specific service that you're providing for that person and for that artist, and that you're servicing for your niche, right? So you want to give them links and standard operating procedures of how you want things delivered, and things as simply as possible, simple and smooth. You're going to be asking them this stuff anyway. Why not just ask them once? Why not just figure it out and send them some kind of package or intake form or standard operating procedure, even like a video like this. I'm a big fan of video SOPs, and that can really, really help the delivery of, I guess, deliverables or like the files that they give you, and you giving them the files. It can just make the whole process smoother. You want to think about each one of these steps, and like you have like a meta system. The whole thing is like the main thing. And then you zoom in, and each one has like little systems that are working, and everything is just, you want to be thinking like an engineer. I mean, you're an engineer, right? If you're a mix engineer, you're a master engineer, you think about these things. You have groups, like for example, here on Ableton, I have a group, here I have band, and then in band, it's going to be pretty slow, but in band I have drums, and I have bass, and I have guitars, and so on. And then each one of those, I have under guitars, I have rhythm, and I have lead, and so on. And those are subsystems, right? You have like a major system, subsystems, subsystems, and so on. And then you want to apply that to each of these, right? So the next would be like, an intake form. That's something that I've built, and we've had a lot of great success with, because it just makes it so much easier for everyone involved. And it just, over time, that adds up to more money, less money lost, less stress, more work, so you can take on a greater workload and you can do it faster and easier. And it's just better for everyone. You can service more people and you can charge higher prices and so on. So after that is obviously the delivery, the thing that is probably the most obvious part of all this. And this involves obviously the mixing, the mastering, the producing, actually sending them the tracks. How are you going to do that? Revisions, and then the associated consultations with those revisions. So, excuse me, I just spat all over the camera. The associated consultations with those revisions, what does that look like? Is that by text? Is that by email? Is that by voice note? Is it on WhatsApp? Is it on Telegram? Is it on Signal if you're sketchy? Is it on, I don't know, whatever it is, right? Like, how do you do that? Because most people just say, oh yeah, like I'll do a revision. And they just randomly kind of think about it. And what I'm encouraging you to do is just think a little bit more about that. Like you're running a Fortune 500 company. Is it by text? Is it by phone? Is it by voice note? Is it by email? How are you servicing this, right? And how many revisions are you doing? How many consultations are you doing for those revisions? Because you want to have some flexibility, to a degree, like where you maybe do revisions. Some people maybe like no revisions. Like if you hate it, if you like it, if you don't, take it or leave it. So that's up to you. That's up to you to figure that out. But have at least an idea of what that looks like, right? So the final delivery, of course, is probably the most important part. You're going to deliver them. Is it by email? Is it by WeTransfer or Swiss Transfer? Is it by Drive? Is it by Dropbox? You want to have your SOP. What's your standard operating procedure for delivering a final mix? Okay. So, and then beyond that, you'd have additional bonuses. Potentially you're, giving something extra. I don't know. Maybe you do the album art. I know a guy that I did an album with when I was 20, 21 years old, and he shot the cover and he also did the CDs and he helped me with that. And that was part of the package. And it was awesome. It was like a full, complete package. A lot of mix engineers, they just send you a WAV file and that's it, right? And that's totally fine, but it's important to get those expectations clear and really find out what that is for you and find out what it is for your clients and what they prefer, right? So offboarding, a lot of people don't think about this, but what happens when you've delivered? Do you just let them have the track and that's it? Well, I recommend thinking about offboarding. A lot of people don't, because this is where a lot of money is made. A lot of people are just so caught up in just chasing more money, chasing more clients, which is what I mean by more money. And what they don't realize is that you want to water the garden kind of where you are. You want to actually be treating the clients that you've already serviced, your past clients, as gold. These are the people that are going to actually pay the bills. These are the ones that are going to come back and actually give you the highest, what we would call LTV, lifetime value. And you really want to treat them better than anyone. A new client, they haven't proven that they're going to do business with you. But what's better proof that someone's going to do business with you than having already done business with you? That's amazing, right? If someone's already giving you money, someone's already done a mix with you, they like you, they like communicating with you, they like your mix, they liked it in the first place, they were attracted to your services. And you want to treat them well. So have a testimonial SOP, a testimonial standard operating procedure. How can you ask them for a testimonial? In previous businesses I've had, I learned to actually get scripts where you take a lot of the weight off of a client and you just have them answer a couple questions, and then they basically go based on a structure that you gave them. So it benefits you the most. It makes it easier for them. They have to think less, and they're more incentivized to do something that's going to massively benefit you and your business. And testimonials and referrals and so on, these are really growing your business, like gardening, you know what I mean? Like growing it, not just chasing another client and letting people fall out of your business. No, you're really creating a community that can grow, and it's like a garden that you're watering, and you can really, again, build that, right? So have a testimonial SOP and help your clients out, help them help you, right? You want to make it easy. This is something I've always said. You want to make it easy for people to do what you want them to do, okay? So also have a referral SOP. How do you incentivize your clients to basically get you more clients? How do you get them to, so the testimonial one is a bit more static and fixed. You take care of that. They give you a video or they give you an audio or a written testimonial, so like by text or maybe handwritten. And a referral, though, would be word of mouth. And it could be in like a three-way group chat. You could get them to message one of their friends and put in a three-way group chat, and you could start discussing stuff, and that might benefit you. And that's an SOP you want to determine for yourself, right? So how do you want them to do that? Do you want them to message someone in a certain way? Do you want them to do three-way group chat, like network marketing style? For anyone who's done like, I was just watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and they made fun of like the network marketing people. And that's how they do group chats. But it's really, really good. The network marketing people know a lot about marketing. So while there's a lot of like scammy stuff, definitely you could learn a thing or two. I totally got scammed by a network marketer when I was like 17 or 18. Kind of burned me. So after that, you want to think about upsell and repeat business SOPs, right? So how do you get that person that's already like a satisfied client, satisfied customer? How do you get them to come back for more business? How do you upsell them? Maybe, I don't know, some add-ons or something, or buy another track either right now or in the future, or an album or something like that. Obviously, they have to have available music. They have to be ready to do the thing. So there's a number of considerations, but those are considerations you want to put into your standard operating procedure at this stage, stage 7, offboarding, right? So those are a couple things that I wanted you to consider. This is how real business owners think. They think systematically, and they think very deliberately about each one of these pieces of the puzzle. They're not just randomly like, oh yeah, I just like DM people, and then I guess like some people liked it, and I guess I mixed their stuff and I texted them. It's like, no, we can do much, much better than that. We can think like Fortune 500 companies, and we can get this streamline stranger to return client and repeat client that's getting you more clients. We can smooth that out like engineers, like you would in any sort of engineering discipline, including mixing and mastering. Like you want that kind of smooth, you want to be removing noise and like clean signal manipulated and processed as you want it to be, and then you have the cohesive whole thing, right? So that's kind of an analogy I want you to consider. So again, just a quick revision. Starts with attention, enquiry, sales or deals, money or finance, what's going on with the cash, onboarding, delivery, and then offboarding. So if you're interested in getting more high quality clients, consistent high quality clients for your mixing and mastering services, then click the link in the description and see if you qualify for a call with me or a member of my team. And we'll just have a chat. We'll have a discovery call and just find out about your business and your mixing and mastering services. And we'll figure out a game plan to get you to that next level where you can basically, again, have consistent, high quality clients like I'm talking about here. So click the link in the description. If you're not interested, I'm not going to cry about it. It's totally fine. But if you are, then we'll see if we can help you. And on that note, peace.